evening and welcome to PSBN's flagship show, Pretend Football Now. I am Sike Manders, and actually not with me this particular week is Maul. Maul gets to go out of the studio. Maul gets to go to the bread and butter bowl and walk around and eat pickles and all sorts of fun stuff. But let me ask you something, listeners and viewers. What about me, huh? What about Sike? Well, we've got games for you, so I suppose we should go and get those done. Let's move right along. I've got a particularly gruesome scalpel for you tonight. Looks to me like a case of a stampede. Let's get into the guts of game number 1, Rainbow Unicorn Death Squad versus You're Still on Mute. After a disappointing season last year, Ramona Swanson had a bone to pick, or, well, a horn. Really not really pick, it's kind of like a stabbing motion. I'm not a unicorn expert. With just about everyone in the NJCFFL. You're Still on Mute was standing in her way, and the results, while very magical, were quite painful for the wildly gesticulating Coach Eric Menzie. An oddly quiet game at an oddly quiet stadium. The Rainbow Unicorn Death Squad stamped hooves and snorted glitter as if eyeing up a tasty whatever it is that unicorns eat. I don't know, trapper keepers? Who knows? They unleashed a torrent of rainbow spectrum military-grade hurt on the opposing defense. Let's just take a look at some of these numbers here. Jalen Waddle with 35 points over his projected 14. Tyreek Hill bringing 37 points of hot, steamy bacon over his projected 14. And there's also the living God, Amon-Ra St. Brown, with 34 points over his projected 11. And Chris Boswell, he was there too. He was there to help with 8 points. However, them's kicker points. With such a blitz, Coach Eric Menzie was left to marshal his own forces to hold back the Rainbow Tide. Led by Tony Pollard, who managed to batter 17 points over his projected 11. Wysam was not going to go quietly into okay, look, Damian Harris had 15 points. That's a standout right there. Look, I'm sure they're not going to get run down so badly that their children are going to inherit the hoofprint bruises on their backs. Deebo Samuel, he almost made his projections, right? Almost. Okay, look, surely Dak Prescott is oh no. Oh, he's not going to play. Well, okay. Coach Menzie is a wily league veteran, okay? So surely he's got another Oh, God. Oh, my God, there's no one. There's no other quarterback. Close your eyes, children. Think of the Rabbits, George. Oh, not even Greg Joseph, their Johannesburg Dandy's mighty leg, could even salvage this mess. What was the final score, you ask? Well, Rainbow Unicorn Death Squad, 169.5. You're Still on Mute, 83.1. Yikes. Well, Coach Menzie's going to have to pick the turf out of his teeth and find someone with the ability to throw a football as he hosts the Beast and the Cincinnati Heartbreak next week. Riding high on the Rainbow Bridge of Glory, Coach Ramona squares up against league champion Mike Cooter and the dastardly South Sharpsville Gravy Legs. Maul?
Thanks, Ike. I don't have to tell you there's no love lost between the coaches of the Knights of the Kings of Lim and the Cumberland Crew, their rivalry dating all the way back to 2021. Coaches Kylan and Cody's distaste for one another's style of play made for such an intriguing matchup that I had to take it in firsthand. The corner of Vinegar and Salt Street, sickly, sticky, and the venue, the Vlassic Bread and Butter Bowl, home to one of the most prolific upstarts in NJCFFL history, the Cumberland Crew, came into this game substantial favorites at home. Coach Cody looked on as his proud Pickle Boys raced out onto the field in hopes of leaving that day as Pickle men. Certainly, that was the case from Amari hanging with Mr. Cooper, who torched his projections en route to 101 yards and a touchdown for a tremendous 20.6-point effort. Evan McPherson, yes, I know, they're back to kicker points this week as well, also beat his projection with 13 points. Unfortunately for Cody, though, the remainder of his gherkins were limp. Aaron Rodgers scored 18.7, and that was okay, although he missed his projection by 3. What truly hurt was the triumvirate of Devontae Adams, Jonathan Taylor, and Cordero Patterson, who collectively now scored 21.8 points, a staggering 29.95 points lower than their projection. Could the Pickle Boys hold there, Brian? The Knights were led by Super Monday standout Stefan Kenya Diggs It Sucker, who torched the Titans for 148 yards and 3 touchdowns en route to 38.8 points. Head of the tight end round table, Mark Andrews, nearly doubled up his projection with 21.2, and Drake London, God save the Queen, more than doubled his expected output with 20.6. Those 3 alone were nearly enough to put Coach Cody away, but Kylan knows just how to step on the throat when he's got them down, and he loosed his secret weapons, Nick Bosa and Devin White, IDPs who combined to score 23 points and put the Pickles on ice, 135.9 to 87.3. I'm here on the outside of the Bread and Butter Bowl now, and the fans of the Crew are meandering around in shocked despair, many still holding on to their limited edition collectible mugs of authentic thirst-quenching brine, a Dr. Fung property, now with 800% of your recommended dose of sodium in every bottle. I've tried to speak to some, but they are zombies, saddened by their team's epic collapse. How could their Crew, now 1-1, get dilled in such epic fashion at home by the hated Knights, now 1-1? Only time will tell if they will be able to shake it off in time for their next week's matchup against the Roswell 51ers. The Knights, however, will savor this victory and travel to Pink Taco Coliseum to face off against last year's runner-up, the Cooter Institute Beavers. Back to the studio.
Well, if you say so, Maul. Must be really nice to be out at the stadium, wandering around, interacting with food trucks and craft beer, while I'm here in the PSBN studios, alone. Who knows where Craig is? Well, I suppose that's it. And from all of us here at PSBN, this has been Pretend Football Now. It doesn't even really feel right when you do that, and Maul's not here. Oof. I'm starting to feel sad. I'm going to call 1-800-MED-FUN.
Do not. Oh, it wouldn't be there. Always Maul with the jiggery pokery is the English.
The entire time we speak with the accent is are you Ukrainian?
I don't want exactly to support Russia. I hear Arbat Gopniks all dead in Ukraine war. All dead. Impossible, I know. Many very good runners, very strong, but all dead. Artillery bombardment, no one survived. This is war. It is real, friends. It is real.
It is the poor Gopniks.
Poor Gopnik. This is PSBN outro, Mike Cooter.
That's right.
Keep on task.